Hey guys, welcome back. This video is going to be about car cleaning, not necessarily detailing because that's a whole separate video in its own, but if you want to know how to clean your car, especially in times like this, keep watching. When it comes to cleaning your car, obviously anyone can, do a wash and, light vacuum. But, there's also other ways to clean, and people have been asking more and more, what can they use on their car to get rid of any type of virus, especially with the coronavirus going around. People are really asking me because, they know I detail cars. I'm not going to tell you to say, hey, use bleach, use Lysol, use any of these household products on your car, because they could kill the germs, but you have to think about it's not recommended for a vehicle. And by putting this stuff in your car, you are potentially putting it at risk of ruining some materials or damaging some of the upholstery, leather or anything like that. So I think if you stick to the basics, keep your car clean, you can then lower your risk of contracting anything in the car. So I'm going to show you some things that I do. And you're probably looking at my car right now and thinking it's clean. It's not. I've been driving this car about 2 weeks straight now, and I'm not happy with the interior, so I'm going to clean it. Aside from a light vacuum, there's other surfaces you need to clean. So I'm going to show you my products. I have a few microfibers here sitting in the seat, and this is a leather cleaner. This is an interior detailer cleaner, and you notice I would highly recommend this one because it cleans all the interior surfaces. It doesn't leave any type of gloss or shine or any artificial shine like that. It cleans. It's safe for navigation screen, things like that. All right, this is a leather scent and odor eliminator. I use this for freshening up the interior. Also, this particular one works as a bacteria killer. So in a sense, it could kill some viruses, but it's not marketed as that. I think it's just one of the products that's in here that uses a scent. Griot products have a leather conditioner, also cleaner. So obviously the conditioner comes after the cleaner. And then another cleaner that I use for interior, and some of the stuff you can buy at like a parts store like O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advanced Auto, things like that. They sell a lot of these stuff over the counter. And as much as I said, if you're looking for a way to kill the viruses, this is probably not the video for you. But if you want to clean your car and potentially reduce the chance of infection from your car, then watch the video, because if you think about it. And before we dig deeper, it's important to know the difference between cleaning and disinfecting. All right, so your Lysol wipes and Clorox and things like that, those are disinfecting. And what we're doing here is we're cleaning, which is equivalent to using soap and water. That's when we clean our hands. Cleaning, what it does is it removes the germs. So the number of germs is now reduced to a minimal amount, in theory, that we're hoping that we reduce the amount of germs that we have on these surfaces. Disinfecting is going to kill the germs, but it doesn't necessarily clean. So I don't want to say put these chemicals, because disinfecting needs chemicals to work. I don't want to say use all these harsh chemicals on your car, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what will happen to the surfaces in the end. As I say, a lot of manufacturers use various different surfaces, and I don't want to say use one product and then have someone mess up their car. So what I use, I can spray this detailer. You can spray it. I'd recommend don't spray it directly on the buttons itself, but spray it on clean microfiber. And you can then wipe off. These are the buttons that I frequent, like, you touching these, the volume knob. All right. Anything, the start button, if you have a start button, obviously clean that because that's something that you do every day when you get in the car. The volume control in the steering wheel, even in different parts. Now, this stuff, I'm using it on the steering wheel. It's okay because it's safe for all surfaces. And what I'm essentially doing is I'm removing all of the germs that are on this car, which is equivalent to soap and water. Because when you wash your car, when you wash your hands, you are using soap and water. You're not using any type of special bacteria killers. Soap and water overall protects you from getting any type of, reduces your risk of getting something. So you're essentially equivalent of using soap and water on your car. It's safer. Like I said, if you can get by with some Lysol wipes, just be careful. Anything for bleaching, because these black coated plastics could potentially be stripped. The leather could be ruined. The coatings, the colors, the dyes, everything like that could be potentially ruined. So what I'm doing is I'm just covering all the surfaces with this. Think about too, when you get into the car, the door handle is another one. So I'll bring the door closer to me. And I'll clean the door handle. Turn signal stalk. You always use your turn signal. Yes, even as BMW drivers use turn signals, as much as people don't believe we do. All right. If you have a car, paddle shifter. If you have a performance car, you probably have paddle shifters. Or if you don't have a performance car, you may still have paddle shifters. Clean front, behind nose, because your fingers are touching nose. So I'm cleaning that as well. And look at it. Everything kind of gets it gets rid of that greasiness that was on here originally. It brings it back to what the car was initially when it came from the dealership. Now I can go in here now and use a leather cleaner, which and then condition it. Because you also don't want to over dry out the leather. This is a handbrake. So this is something that I do. You press the button, you release it, you pull it up on it. It's always being used. Something here. When you drive your car, you shift it out of gear. So I'm cleaning the shift knob. Cleaning around the shift knob. These are buttons down here that I use. If you have a touchscreen, infotainment, this is safe to use. This car doesn't have touchscreen, but I'm still going to use it to clean the screen here, just to show you that it's okay. Air conditioning, things like that. All this stuff right here can be cleaned. And my infotainment's controlled down here by this knob. So navigation, everything is all in the center dial here. So I'm gonna clean all these buttons. Your glove box. Because if you speed like me, more likely you probably get pulled over and you have to open your glove box to show your registration. Your headlight switch. For me, I leave my lights on auto, so I don't necessarily have to touch the switch. But you never know. You never know when you take your car. If you take your car to any type of shop or something like that, they may turn them back off. So you can do that. Just hit everything you touch on here. I'm gonna wipe the dash. I have a leather dash, but I'm gonna still wipe it. Just knock the dust off of it. And like I said, I'm removing majority of the germs. If your car's a sunroof, my car does not, but if your car's a sunroof, you want to clean that switch. If I did have a sunroof, switch would be here. Here we are in the X5. So if you have an SUV or any type of family vehicle, most of the time those vehicles like Tahoe, Suburban, or those family gear vehicles that have some type of auto climate control. They don't have a climate control for the rear passengers in addition to the front passengers. And if you're like me, I have kids, and rarely my kids touch this area, but this is where an area you might not even think about, because if I'm focusing on the front of the car where all the driver controls are, you have additional controls for the rear passengers. It's a good idea to take care of those areas too and clean them. So you have different temperature knobs here, different buttons, and so I'm just cleaning it. Don't forget the handles and cup holders. So cup holders, this is something that you always want to clean. And think about your vanity. If you're like to look how you're looking yourself in the mirror, then you want to clean this little slider, or if you have a flip up, anyway you clean your vanity. Grab handles. All right, you're just cleaning all this stuff. A little brush, detail brush, and get some of these little cracks and crevices. So I gunk in there. If your car has a garage door opener, you close your garage doors all the time, you want to clean these buttons as well. So you can definitely spend a little bit of time in here. I would say at least, depending on how dirty your car is. For me, about half hour or so, just the interior. If a car is really dirty in an SUV, I expect to spend about an hour or two. The vacuum, take time to vacuum, remove things like that. So guys, hope this video is helpful. It's just a short clip. I mean, I'm not going to go through and show you everything I do. It makes the video longer than it needs to be, because I said I do know the attention span of you guys, so I try to keep my videos, try to keep them shorter for my instructional at least. So guys, actually one more tip before we go. The instrument cluster. Okay. When you clean this, make sure you use a microfiber. All right. Don't use any type of regular rag, because this glass can get scratches on it. What things you need to clean, you say your trunk button, things like that. So for me, it's like my trunk button needs to be cleaned. And like I said, this helps at least. It can reduce the spread, reduce the chances of you getting something. At this point, I just can't recommend anybody using type of household products in their cars, just because the risk that you take of damaging your interior. And I would feel horrible if I recommended something like that and then someone wrote back to me and said that they stripped off something on their car. So stick to the basics, stick to automotive products. They work. It keeps your car clean. When you're getting gas at your gas station, think about that too, because a ton of people touch that stuff and probably don't think about it every day. I always try to keep something in my car. For example, I keep a hand sanitizer in my center console. Use that, and you can wash your car. I think every car has some type of hand sanitizer in it. So just think about how you do that. If you can use contactless payment. That way you don't have to punch any buttons in, no PIN numbers. Just go. I know some pumps use Apple Pay. Not very many. There's, like I said, just try to minimize your contact. Most pumps have paper towels. Use paper towel, then discard it after you're done. And before you get back in your car, hand sanitize. So the other thing is you can actually use disinfectant wipes on your car keys. So that's one thing you need to think about, is the car keys, and it wouldn't hurt to do it. Just make sure that these surfaces stay wet for 2 or 3 minutes, depending on what product you use. But I think at least a minute of contact time to kill those germs. And like I said, just try to minimize your contact. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe.